Womanhood, strength of today, pride of tomorrow, power behind nations, beauty for all times. That's the woman, and that's our focus today on The Eagle as we discuss women against corruption. Now, how can the woman fight economic and financial crimes? The Eagle is your anti-corruption program from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and it's coming to you on the network service of the NTA. My name is Martha Eche, your anchor, saying welcome.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
The Eagle, and today on the program we've got updates on the EFCC, interviews and voices from the street, all for you. Let's go straight to the news corner for updates on the activities of the EFCC since last week. Ngondun Ngweta takes over now.
The executive chairman of the EFCC, Abdul Rashid Bawa, said all operators in the Nigerian financial system, especially bankers, are to declare their assets latest June 1, 2021. He said this while speaking with journalists at the State House, Abuja, after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. The EFCC boss said the move is part of measures to sanitize the nation's financial system and block some of the loopholes currently being exploited by unscrupulous players in the sector to undermine Nigeria's economy through money laundering and illicit financial flows. The trial of Senator Shehu Sani, who represented Kaduna Central in the 8th Senate, continued last week before Justice Inyang Edem Ekwo of the Federal High Court, Abuja. Bako Aliu, an investigator with the EFCC, who is the 10th prosecution witness, provided more details on how Sani allegedly extorted money from Alhaji Sani Dauda, the chairman of ASD Motors. Aliu said Senator Sani collected the money from the victim under the pretense that he would bribe the Chief Justice of the Federation, the then EFCC acting chairman Ibrahim Magu, and some operatives of the commission. The Chief Justice and the former EFCC chairman denied receiving any bribe from Sani, with the Chief Judge publishing his denial in 2 national dailies. Upon learning that the matter was before the commission, the witness said the defendant hurriedly returned the money to the complainant, begging him to change the statement he had volunteered to the EFCC. Aliu also faulted Sani's claim that the $25,000 he gave ASD was part payment for the purchase of a brand new Peugeot 508 saloon car. Justice Ekwo thereafter adjourned the matter to March 16, 2021 for continuation of trial and cross-examination of the witness. Meanwhile, a witness has testified against Aisha Alkali Wakili, popularly known as Mama Boko Haram, for an alleged 71 million naira fraud. Aisha Alkali Wakili appeared before Justice Aisha Kumalia of the Borno State High Court, Maiduguri. The court will reconvene for continuation of trial on March 30, 2021. Let's look at some convictions that the EFCC secured in the past week. Justice Mobolaji Olajuwon of the Federal High Court in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, slammed 4 internet fraudsters with prison terms on separate fraud charges. The convicts allegedly perpetrated various internet frauds, including hacking into Facebook accounts of victims and using point-of-sale terminal to defraud people. Justice Olajuwon sentenced them to prison with options of fine and ordered them to pay back the money they got from their victims as restitution. In Kano State, Justice Hadiza Suleiman of the Kano State High Court convicted one Jamilu Yunusa on a 7-count charge of advanced fee fraud. The convict who defrauded his victims of over 1.5 million naira was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment, starting from the date of his arraignment in court. He was also ordered to restitute the victims of all the sums in the charge or serve additional 2 years in prison. In Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, Justice Patricia Ajoku of the Federal High Court convicted one Ajibola Hamid for being involved in a love scam. Hamid pleaded guilty and was sentenced to prison for 3 months. He also forfeited one Vivo 1906 phone to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Moving on to arraignment cases now. In Kano, Hayatu Abdullahi was arraigned by the EFCC before Justice Hafsat Yahaya Sani of the Kano State High Court for property fraud. Abdullahi had tried to sell a property to one Aminu Ahmed, which he had no title documents to. Also on property matter, a 60-year-old Ezekiel Oluwadare James was also arraigned before Justice Patricia Ajoku on a 2-count charge bordering on conspiracy and obtaining money under false pretense in Oyo State. The defendant had fraudulently obtained the sum of 25 million naira from a victim for a plot of land. When he pleaded not guilty, Justice Ajoku adjourned the case till March 24, 2021 for hearing of the defendant's bail application and April 26, 2021 for his trial. The defendant, Ezekiel Oluwadare James, Nigerian Correctional Facility, Abolongo, Oyo Town, pending the hearing and determination of his bail application. Still on arraignment, the Uyo Zonal Office of the EFCC arrested one Emmanuel Chigozie Eze, a 35-year-old head of sales for Procter & Gamble Company, for allegedly embezzling over 25 million naira company funds, which he claimed to have spent on online sports betting. Eze allegedly supplied goods worth over 20 million naira to customers and converted the proceeds for personal use. Investigations revealed that the suspect had spent over 4 million naira placing bets on daily basis with almost nothing to show for it. The suspect will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. My name is Ngoundu Ngweta for The Eagle.
Now, show me a society without women, and I will show you a society that's already doomed. Women are the embodiment of beauty, the pillars of homes, and the strength of the man, even in the fight against economic and financial crimes. And in the anti-graft war, women are very, very important. This, coupled with other strengths that women possess, is the reason behind the International Women's Day, celebrated 8th of March every year. The theme for this year's celebration is Choose to Challenge. Women should choose to challenge whatever inhibits their progress in life, economic and financial crimes inclusive. Now, the question is, how can the woman rise up against economic and financial crimes? How can she say no to the corruption around her? Get answers as you follow me to the interview segment where Ngoundu Ngweta again chats with our guests on the program today.
Thank you for joining us on this segment of the program. Our guest today is Dr. Gloria Laraba Shoda. Dr. Shoda is the President of National Council for Women's Societies, NCWS. Glad to have you join us today.
Thank you very much.
What role do women play to contribute to the spread of corruption?
Well, you know, women are the caregivers. Women are caregivers, and they are the ones at home, and the ones that take care of the children, the husband, the uncles, and everybody. And you also know that women are the traders, mostly, in the markets and everywhere. Women can contribute to the spread of corruption in so many ways. By influencing their husbands, you know, nagging their husbands to get good things for them, comparing their husbands with other husbands, saying that look at that man, look at what he has, what do you have, don't you work in the same office, don't you earn the same salaries, and that kind of thing. And then women in the market, for instance, they too, they shortchange their customers by reducing the quantity of measures that they have, only by putting some things like candle under their measures, and heating their measures inside so that it will not be a full measure, so that they can make more profits. And even by the way they train their children, when they train their children in a way that the children, you know, worship money, the values, they place more value on worldly things, on properties, on what they have. You see a small child of about 10 years asking his parents to buy him iPhone, So those are all the ways that women contribute to corruption.
Let's talk about the effects of economic and financial crimes on women specifically. In what ways have women suffered in the hands of these crimes?
Well, I would say that women suffer a lot in the hands of the crimes because of like local government multi-taxing, for instance. You see, local government will come and lay their own tax. The government have the state government have their own tax, and some consultants, they call them some consultants. You see them all over the place. I think by the local government, everybody is taxing, especially the women in the market. So when you are overtaxing them, of course, they will look for a way to increase their profits. That is why they go through all those things. So multi-taxing is something that is so difficult for women, and they have also to become corrupt because the corrupt people are taking money from their hands. And of course, the inflation things become, in Nigeria, when things go up, they hardly come down. They hardly come down. Even when government introduces any interventions to reduce the cost of suffering, the market people don't normally do that because the prices remain there. The prices of fuel, for instance, now it is up. If government brings it down, the prices of market goods will not come down. It will remain the same. So all those are avenues for corruption, and it bears on the women. It makes them suffer, and it makes them corrupt as well.
As citizens who would like to see a better Nigeria, how can women fight economic and financial crimes?
Women can resist multi-taxing. You can make a case for that. NGOs and civil societies can go to the assembly to make laws that at least there should be one single way of taxing people. Not that so anybody that wants to tax you will just come and tax you. That's a way of increasing corruption. And then increasing prices of commodities anyhow, especially like fuel, electricity, without giving people enough time to adjust, and without putting things in place like electricity, for instance, for the business to boom, for people, for canalizers to be able to work, electricians to be able to work. People who do artisans who work with electricity are not able to work because they have to use generators. And then if you use generators, you have to buy fuel very expensive. And when you buy things fuel expensive, you have to look for a way of making more profit. So all those things has to be looked in place and at least corrected and then cushioned by the government.
So are you saying that women are not doing enough to fight economic and financial crimes?
I don't think women are doing enough to fight corruption. I think women are being complacent. They're just there. They take whatever comes, and they also join the bandwagon of the corruption instead of doing something against it. If market leaders, we have the people they call market leaders, when they come with their charges, you have the taxes by the government. You have market leaders also taxing the women. They just say, well, that is how it is. It's their time. Let us just give them their money and let them go. But it is the customers that bear the cost of those charges made by market leaders that they call Yaloja, Babaloja, and all that kind of thing. Those people also have their taxes that they bring to bear on women. And women don't bother, they just keep quiet. They don't know that they have the right to say no to certain things when they are many. They don't fight for their rights. They just take it as it comes.
For most people, the home is the first and most important place to deal with economic and financial crimes. How can women tackle the problem of corruption at the home front?
Women should begin to, first of all, they should they should give their children good values. When I was growing up, we have norms and values that are good. You are taught not to look at other people's things, not to envy or covet other people's things or the way they look or where they live. But now it's not the same thing. You see, when you send your children to school, a small child in the primary school will come and be telling you that she wants to go on holiday. She wants to go on holiday to Dubai. How? Because she has the peers are telling her. She's mixing with people, maybe affluent people that have been going to holiday. She will come, and then the mother will begin to tell the father that, my dear, I think we should try and be taking these children out to let them also be like other children and go out for holidays somewhere. So that is where it starts. You start, training your children to love money, to love affluence. You want to compare them. A small child will do her hair, even palm the hair and pack it, and she's going to church, maybe 2-year-old child, or 3 years, or even 5-year-old child. You begin to do their hair in an adult way, and begin to train your children to begin to see that money is very, very important. And they compare notes with their phones, for instance, compare their uniforms. Somebody has new uniforms, you go back home and say, Mommy, my friend, the mother just bought a new uniform, me too, I want new uniform. And you don't have the money to buy new uniform. You should make the child understand that, well, I'll buy you new uniform, but let's manage this now because there's no money. But we don't do that. We begin to either pressure the man of the house, or the woman herself begin to do other bad things just to get money from outside to keep up with her friends. Ashoebi, you want to buy every Ashoebi that comes. You are doing a party, birthday party, I buy Ashoebi from you. This one is the daughter is marrying, I buy Ashoebi and Ashoebi, and you begin to look for money. Stress your husband, make him go and commit crimes in the office because he wants to give you money to keep up with your friends.
I believe that in every course there are going to be challenges. So what challenges do women face in the fight against economic and financial crimes if they choose to get involved in it?
That is another big one, because if you choose to fight, to support the fight against corruption, you have so many people to contend with. Sometimes you have your husband to contend with, because you begin to tell your husband that, where do you get money to do all these type of things? How much is your salary? I think your salary is not enough. I'm seeing you buying new cars, you are doing this, you are taking our children, we are going abroad. Where do you get this money? The husband will begin to have problems with you. Say you are talking too much and you want to expose him, and you might lose your home through that. So that's one challenge. Then another challenge is with your friends. Of course, there will be gossip. My husband is working in the same office with this man, and see what he has. You are causing trouble for another husband, because there's a challenge of, are you not on level 10? Is Mr. E not on level 10? How come? What is happening? How come he has this, he has that, he has this, we don't have? How come we can't? If the man says, see, I can't do what they are doing, then there will be trouble of nagging. What kind of, you are not even a man, all that kind of thing will happen at home. So women have a lot of, and the children too. The children will go to school and find their peers better than them, and they still work in the same office, the same payment and everything. So the children will be wondering, they come home, Mommy, Mr. A's daughter, this is what she brings, maybe 1,000 naira every day to school, and you give me only 100 naira. Why? What is happening, Mommy? Is the daddy Tokwe not in the same office with my dad? So all those things, those are the challenges women is in. And then schools, where maybe the man wants to be prudent, he takes his child to public school, and the other one, of course, he's getting extra money from somewhere, takes his child to private school and is paying a lot of money there. So there is going to be suspicion that what is happening. And unfortunately, if the stress is too much and the man is weak, he can go the way of that other corrupt person.
What advice do you have for women and the society as we come to the conclusion of this segment of the program?
I think we should bring back our lost values, because we have lost our values. We have derailed. When we want to copy the white people, we copy the bad things of the white people. When we were growing up, we had our values. They teach you values. They teach you that stealing, for instance, is a very bad thing, and if you do that, everybody will know. Even when you come, you won't want to go to school because you know that everybody will say that is that thief coming. But now, stealing or no stealing doesn't mean anything in the school. So we should bring back our core values back into the school. We should bring back in the curriculum moral instructions, and we should also begin to teach history in the this, because when you teach history, you know what has been happening in those days, how we live, how the values and norms that we follow. All those things should come back into our curriculum so that we teach children life skills, we teach them good values, we teach them good norms so that they will grow up not to be corrupt.
We've been speaking with the President, National Council for Women's Societies, NCWS, Dr. Gloria Laraba Shoda. Thank you for your time with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My name is Gondu Ngweta. Enjoy the rest of the program.
It's the Eagle, your anti-corruption program from the EFCC, and today it's all about women against corruption. Now, the effects of economic and financial crimes are devastating on women. They trickle down to the homes, schools, healthcare system, you name it. Now, in recognition of the role that women can play in bringing economic and financial crimes to their knees, the Public Affairs Directorate of the EFCC, through its Enlightenment and Reorientation Unit, created a program called Women Against Corruption, WAC for short. Now, we have the Acting Director, Public Affairs Department of the EFCC, Hajia Aisha Larry Musa, and she talks about the WAC program and how effective it has been so far.
The Women Against Corruption program is one of EFC's outreach enlightenment program meant to seek the support and participation of all women. But two reasons informed the Commission to come up with such a program. The Commission has numerous public enlightenment programs, and we realized that each time we invited people for programs, the men seemed to dominate the space. And then we have also realized that through our investigations, the proceeds of crimes end up on the table of women. Now, for any anti-corruption campaign to be successful, the women must be involved. And the only way to get them on the fight against corruption is to design an independent program for them, meant for them, so that they will know that they have been considered as a change agent in the fight against corruption. So we developed that program with the sole aim of using women as the vanguard to fight all forms of economic and financial crimes for us, particularly the cyber crime. Nigerian women, we must all wake up to our responsibilities. And those responsibilities are, we must advise, guide, counsel, and teach our children those good moral values that our own parents and grandparents taught us when we were growing. It seems as if these days we have thrown away our responsibilities to the dogs, which is not right. So Nigerian women, we must wake up and teach our children the right moral values so that we can have a better society for all of us.
Any nation that sidelines her women in the process of development asks for failure right from the foundation. And that's why Nigeria, through the EFCC, is asking women, mothers, wives, ladies, old and young, to join in the fight against economic and financial crime so that together we can build a better Nigeria for our children. Posterity will never forget you for lending your voice to the fight against economic and financial crimes. And that's where we draw the curtain on today's edition of The Eagle. Would like you to join us again, same time, same station, next week for another package. Let's talk more on our email, theeagle@efccnigeria.org. I take it again, theeagle@efccnigeria.org. And on all our social media platforms, it's @official EFCC. You can send your petitions to info@efccnigeria.org or visit any of our offices in the 14 zones across the country Secretary and the corporate headquarters in Jabi, Abuja for matters relating to economic and financial crimes. My name is Martha Eche, and I am saying, God bless you, God bless the woman, and God bless Nigeria.